I don't want to take too much time, but I want to introduce a model, advocate, curator. Thank you so much. Please welcome Racquel Chevremont.
Yeah, hi. Thank you so much. So I wasn't expecting to do this. I'm not. So I wanted to hear from the artists how they felt their work fit in with the theme of the show, and what made you want to enter. And this is the first time I've ever curated something where it was a jury, selection. So it was a little different for me, and I don't know. Have you ever entered into an exhibition in this way? You have. All right, so great.
I'd rather not, but I have.
So how do you feel your work enters into, or speaks to the gender euphoria?
A friend of mine offered me an apartment in Harlem, and I'm there to this day. They'll probably bury me there. But I was collecting for photography at the moment, and I did talks with a lot of, I started being in the business. But then I started seeing a street life that I wanted to document.
All right. Hi.
Hi.
So I'm going to pass it to you now.
Okay.
So your work, which I don't know if everyone can see back there, hanging. I guess tell us a little bit about it and how you feel it fits with the theme of the exhibition.
I think a lot of people are exploring this idea in, museums and galleries, and the complexity and the personal aspect of gender and sexuality until adulthood. I just realized that I was in a kind of minority in the way I looked at the world. And I've been attracted in my own life to people who are different than me, in my relationships.
Yeah, and in my paintings, I'm like building the world that I want to live in. And so it started with thinking about space, right? I grew up in New York City, in an apartment. And so when I started painting, what I was painting was like access to nature, and it was big open spaces and big open skies and cities that could inhabit, that sort of access and that space for people.
I saw this photograph of me holding this duck, in the farm of my grandparents, and I was very strong. I was like, wow, I don't even know if I could hold this duck now. Like, this little girl really knew how to, get stuff and be a tomboy, and that was it. And so I was thinking, how can I use this to show that biology is, of course, here, but there is a bigger sense of freedom to it. And, all living things are much more interconnected and much more than just what we humans say they are. And mushroom is one of the oldest living things on Earth. So I used that technique to experiment, and the feeling I wanted to give is kind of this archaeological feeling.
Looking at the space, I wanted to create a very intimate, space so that you can be with those images so that they wouldn't get swallowed up by the walls or anything. So that's the other thing I look for, is to try to put the work in locations so that they have their room to breathe, or invite someone in to really live with the work.